Well, hello everybody. Welcome back if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the first time. My name is Richard. I am the co-founder of Center State Paranormal Investigations in Washington State. But I'm also a member of a group called the Graveyard Shift. And that's what I'm doing today. Graveyard Shift, I'll explain in a couple of minutes. But first, I want to tell you, I wasn't planning on doing another video quite so soon after the last one. However, I got to thinking that today, this may be a couple of days before this gets onto YouTube, but today is the day before Memorial Day. So I thought it'd be a nice idea to come out and visit the cemetery out here and maybe speak to some of the veterans that are buried here. So that's why I'm here today. Again, my apologies. The sinuses just don't like me. Just to give you an idea of what Goldendale and the county think of their veterans. And yes, I got my tripod so I can carry this around with me now. Just to give you an idea what they think about their veterans. The American Legion and a whole bunch of volunteers came out to this cemetery yesterday afternoon, and they were here for several hours. The result of which is about 300 of these large flags. Let me get out of the way so I can see what I'm showing you. These line the driveway all the way around the cemetery, from the entrance to the exit. There's about 300 of those. In addition, if you look past the big ones, you'll see areas where there are some small flags. We have slightly over 500 veterans whose remains are buried in this cemetery. And every single one of their grave sites has one of these flags put on it. Now you can see why it took them several hours to do that. So I thought it might be a nice idea to come out here and see if maybe we can have a conversation with a few of them. Just to pay our respects and let everybody know that somebody thinks about them. I mean, obviously we will have, I think, 3 different ceremonies tomorrow for Memorial Day in different locations. One of which is right here at this cemetery, just about where I'm sitting. But for today, I should have had this all set up in advance. I've been having so many problems trying to get the camera to work for some reason that I didn't set up the spirit box yet. So, this is just about, yeah, we're in the area just about where they're going to have the ceremony for tomorrow. But looking at all the small flags that are out here, we've got a bunch of veterans buried here. I haven't gone through this, I haven't walked the cemetery to see who's who or who's where or anything such as that. Now, like most cemeteries, some of the gravestones will make mention of military service, some of them won't. So you don't know. American Legion and the cemetery both keep a list of the veterans that are buried here, so they know where to plant the flags when they come out. And they do this every year for Memorial Day. So we're almost there. If I can get this thing to decide it wants to work. Okay, now it's going to boot up. I'm sorry, I should have had this all set up in advance, but it didn't quite work out that way. That's just a little bit high, I think. So, if you'll excuse me for just a second, I'm going to kick this down about a ½ inch. Ooh, don't mean to make you wobble. Okay, it's kind of an adjustable tripod, so hopefully we can figure it out. This is the first time using it. I just took it out of the box just now. Okay, so we've got that part done. All right, see if we can get out of the sun enough to program this. Oh, come on, where are you? Okay, is that where I want to be? That's where I want to be. Okay, so let's get started. So to all the spirits that are resting here, my name is Richard. I'm with a group of people called the Graveyard Shift. What we do is we come out to resting communities such as this and see if we can't speak to some of those that may not have been spoken to for a very long time. So tomorrow, being Memorial Day, where we honor all of our veterans that have passed, I thought I'd come out and see if there's any of the veterans here that would like to speak to me. So, is there anyone here, specifically the veterans? If you other folks don't mind, I'd like to talk to them today. Is there any veterans here who would like to speak to me today? I neglected to mention that if we have anyone that wants to speak to me, could you start by telling me your name? That way we can figure out who we're talking to. And the other people, please allow the veterans to come through today. And all the vets, if you would come through one at a time, that will cut down on the confusion. So let's try this again. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to us? No. No? Sure, why not? Okay. Okay, well, I've got some yeses and some nos. So apparently a few of you would like to talk to me. Could somebody tell me your name? Once I hear a name, that's the person that I'm going to focus on talking to. So can somebody tell me your name, please? I either heard yes or Jeff. Okay, I'm going to go with Jeff. That's the only name that I heard that sounded like it was just about coming through clearly. So, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But Jeff, if that's what I heard, are your remains buried somewhere in this cemetery? Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that I'm not going to hear everything that you say, but this is all being recorded, so I will go back home and listen to it with the earphones on in the quiet and see what else I can pick up that you say that I don't hear right now. But we will definitely hear what you have to say. So Jeff, if that was what I heard, can you say something to me, or should we try to ask for somebody else to talk to us? Did I hear not smart? Mike. Okay, I heard that one pretty clear. All right, Mike, can you talk to us? Are you buried in this cemetery? Okay, again, I'm not being able to pick much out, but like I said, I will go back and pick it up later and listen to it. Mike, I assume you were in the military at some point in time, is that correct? No? Okay, I heard Mike again. So, your remains are in this cemetery somewhere? Did it? Stand by. Okay. Rain? No, I don't think we're going to have much rain today. Okay, I heard something about 205. That sounds to me like a military designation. So whoever was 205, can you talk to me now? Tell me your name. Lyle? Yes. Okay. Well, we have Lyle. All right. And I assume your remains are buried somewhere on the ground here? Yeah, taking. Okay. So, assuming that you were in the military, let's start with the easy part. What branch of the service were you in? Hey, I heard Navy. All right. And can you tell me approximately, or at least the last two digits of the year or years that you were in the Navy? 20. Okay, I heard 20. So would that be 2020 that you were in the Navy? Or was it 1920? 1920. Okay, so you were in just shortly after World War I. Okay, so you were there apparently not involved in any combat situations, is that correct? No. Okay. Okay, I heard a no to that one. Can you tell me what your job description was when you were in the Navy in 1920, I think you said it was? No, I'm not sure. I thought I heard Able Bodied Seaman come through, which I'm not real cognizant of the Navy. I think it's kind of a general all-purpose type of rank that whatever it is, whatever your specialty is, I think it's like the second step up from like the novice. I'm not sure even what the designations are for most of those. But I know able-bodied seaman is a Navy term. So you missed World War I and probably missed World War II. How many years were you in the Navy?
You are
Heard several responses to that. I thought I heard 7 in there to begin with. So, like I said, I'll have to go back and listen to this again so that we can pick up on what everybody is saying. And it sounds to me like there's both a man and a woman coming through, unless that's just the spirit box that's putting forth the woman's voice. Oh, from my own perspective, I was in the Army from 1967 to 1970, which means that I was during the Vietnam era, and I was in fact in Vietnam for a year. So, if you keep up with military action, I was involved in the 1968 Tet Offensive, where they basically attacked every military installation in South Vietnam, both the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong, and basically kicked our butts, basically. But that's my own. I'm here more interested in hearing about you folks. So, is there anyone else that was in the military that would like to talk to me today? Tell me your name, please. Okay, I heard a lady's voice and it sounded like Marky. I could be wrong, but that's what it sounded like to me. So, the lady who said whatever sounds like Marky, could you say your name again, please? Okay, I may be wrong. I think I heard Eunice that time. So let's go with that then. Marky or Eunice or whichever the lady is that was talking to me. Back to the beginning again. Are your remains interred here somewhere on the grounds?
I think
Up high? Okay. So you're on one of the hillsides here? There's a couple of them, so it could be either one or three. Now, I assume you were in the military. What branch of the service were you in? Okay, I kind of lost that part too, so we'll go over that. Can you tell me what years you were in the military? No, I heard two different things. I heard 83 and then I heard Tet in the male's voice. So it sounds like somebody was over there chewing some of my dirt. Or at least chewing some of the same dirt during the Tet Offensive. The lady, I think she said her name was Eunice. Can you try it one more time? Tell me what year you were in the military?
Good.
Okay, I heard the lady's voice say 8, and then a male voice on top of it said something. I'm not sure what they said. So, well, let's try that one again. What year were you in the military? Or what years? Just the last 2 digits, and we'll work on it from there. Okay, I heard a 03. That sounds like about Afghanistan, somewhere in that area around oh, what did they call that? I had it till I started to say it. But about 2003, were you involved in any combat situations? You did it? Okay. Enduring Freedom, that's the one I was trying to think of. Okay. Not well enough on military history to know if women were involved in combat roles at that time or not. Were you? Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for that. By the way, thank you to all the veterans who served the country in all of the branches in all of the decades. Like I said, I haven't checked on any of the gravestones out here, so I don't know if we have anybody from each individual war or not. I assume so. Anyway, is there anyone else that would like to talk to us today? Or Eunice, I believe it was. Is there anything else you'd like to say first? Yeah, this is kind of freaky. It's a little strange when it first happens because you're kind of hearing your own voice or a representation of your voice as you're talking to me because I can actually hear you, which is probably quite freaky to some people. But I've been here a few times. I'll probably be here a few more, so hopefully you can get used to it and kind of relax. So, anyone else that was in the military that would like to talk to me today? Bob? Okay, I heard Bob and I heard Susan. So let's start with Bob. Bob, are your remains in this cemetery somewhere?
No.
No? Okay. And I assume you were in the military? Somebody said they were disoriented. Well, as I said, this is just an electronic means by which I can hear what you actually have to say. There's nothing that's going to hurt you or harm you in any way. It's just a means to an end. It's a tool that we can use to actually hear what you have on your mind. Okay, I heard Bob and then I heard a lady's voice. So, Bob, you said you're not buried in this cemetery, is that correct? And by military term, if I ever heard it. By again, okay. Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to have to go back and listen to this because I'm not hearing a lot of what you're saying. I'm outdoors, the wind's blowing, it's going right into my hearing aid, so I'm not hearing a lot of it, but we will go back and listen to this, make sure that we pick up on what you have to say. There was also a lady that was in there, and now that I've said that, I've forgotten the name. So the lady that was talking at the same time that Bob was, can you tell me your name again?
Floyd. Yeah.
You're back, okay. I also heard Troy in there, I think. But the lady just said she's back. Can you tell me your name one more time? One more time. That was awful quiet. I didn't quite hear it. Joel? Joel? I'm not sure I heard that correctly. One more time if you don't mind. Okay, now what's going on? Well, now the thing doesn't want to work. Okay. Well, I may be wrong, but it appears that somebody just drained the battery in my tablet because I can't get it to come on again. Well, that's a rather abrupt end to what started out to be nice. it will not come back on. So I guess we're going to conclude this episode. I will go back home and edit through it and see what else I can pick up of what was said. But I'd like to thank everybody who did talk to me today. And to all of the veterans here, you have my deepest respect. And I hope that you rest comfortably. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Anyway, thank you all. And for those that are watching, we will probably come back and do this again. And if you're going out to do any kind of paranormal investigation, be safe.